Don't think that the craziest lyrics are in modern songs. Get ready to hear stories about rattlesnakes, drunken sailors, Yankees, and even farts? Let's get started. This is the oldest English songs. Number 10, Green Grow the Rushes O. You probably heard of it as the 12 Prophets, the Carol of the 12 Numbers, or the Dilly Song. This is a popular English folk song with very complex and puzzling lyrics. What's it about? Well, it has biblical references such as the 12 Apostles and astronomic references such as the stars and constellations, not forgetting to mention characters from Greek and Roman mythology such as the Gemini twins, Castor and Pollux. Incredibly, children used to sing it as a Christmas carol or just to fool around. This song is believed to date back to 1868 and was very common in Somerset and throughout the west of England. Also, it's considered to be a good counting song. Yes, something like 10 Little Indians, whose first versions date back to 1868. Have you memorized it backwards and forwards yet? Number 9, Springfield Mountain. Now let's move on to an emotional American song. The lyrics of this song tell the tragic story of a young man who's about to get married and a rattlesnake. If you're thinking that the young man died from the bite of this reptile, you're totally right. Timothy Merrick was bitten while he was mowing the lawn in his father's field and, unaided, died in the field in 1761. Are you not sure whether this story is 100% true? Well, Timothy's grave is in Adams Cemetery and is a sort of tourist stop in western Massachusetts. Springfield Mountain was composed between 1836 and 1840. It's representative of folklore in the United States and is so popular that there are many versions of its lyrics and music. Have you sung any of them?
On Springfield Mountain.
Wait, this version? Doesn't sound like Sting's Shape of My Heart? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just affected by Timothy's sad story. What do you say?
On Springfield Mountain.
Number 8, What Shall We Do with the Drunken Sailor? This is an energetic sea shanty that was commonly sung by sailors on the open sea. The song makes suggestions on how to punish a drunken sailor without causing him much damage. Do you also find it difficult to deal with someone when they've drunk too much? Listen to this song and you'll have some ideas, such as tying them to the mast and then whipping them, shaving their bellies with a rusty razor, or giving them a lock of hair from the dog that bit him. Okay, I don't think these suggestions are suitable. The exact date of the creation of this song is unknown, but it's estimated to be within the 1830s. The first published description of the shack was included in a short story of an 1839 whaling voyage from New London, Connecticut, to the Pacific Ocean. And yes, you heard the accordion version of the song in SpongeBob SquarePants, especially in scenes involving Krusty Krab. Number 7, Yankee Doodle. We go from SpongeBob to another friend of the children, none other than Barney. This popular song shares a melody with the theme music of the children's television series, Barney and the Backyard Gang and Barney and Friends. It comes from the confrontation between the English and the Americans. It was written at Fort Krilo around 1755 by British Army surgeon Richard Shuckburgh while campaigning in Rensselaer, New York. At the beginning, it was sung by British military officers to poke fun at scruffy, disorganized colonial Yankees who thought they had style by just adding a feather in their cap. In response, Americans claimed the song as their own and composed verses making fun of the English and praising George Washington during the Revolutionary War. By the time the English surrendered in Yorktown in 1781, Yankee Doodle had become the new nation's unofficial national anthem. Even today, it remains a reference to patriotism and is Connecticut's state song. Number 6, When the King Enjoys His Own Again. This song was perhaps the most popular song in the mid-17th century in England. It was written by Martin Parker during the English Civil War and first published in 1643. What made it so popular? Well, it had its origin in political events. The lyrics supported Charles I and predicted his eventual victory in the Civil Wars. The song was secretly spread in the community and it's thought to be printed on flyers around 1640. There's no record of any copy though. They learned the lyrics and then got rid of the flyers so as not to be caught. However, the unfortunate Charles I was eventually beheaded and his cause was lost. But the song took revenge later and was more successful by keeping the spirits up and promoting his son's restoration, which was celebrated throughout the kingdom. Number 5. Old Maid and the Garret. Are you single? I hope you don't mind turning 40 unmarried. This is a happy song that has an undertone of loneliness and despair. Old Maid and the Garret tells the story of a 45-year-old single woman who is regretting her situation. This woman, whose name is unknown, would accept any man, a tailor, fiddler, sailor, someone rich, poor, fool, or wit. She even mentions settling for a parrot, all because she feels ignored and fears she'll die being an old maid in a garret. A bit fatalistic, isn't it? The song was printed on a sheet that was recorded in London Stationer's Register, a kind of copyright register, in 1636. In Ireland, they added a happy ending to the song, and it's known as the Black Chimney Sweeper, because in the last line, a chimney sweep marries the old maid out of pity and swears he'll support her. Number 4, As I Walked Forth. It's Robert Johnson's turn. He was a renowned lutenist to the English court who provided most of the music in Shakespeare's plays. The lyrics of As I Walked Forth, composed between 1583 and 1633, are about the heartbreak of a maiden who feels sorry for herself as she walks in the meadow plucking flowers. According to the song, the maiden probably died there with a broken heart. In this part, you can perceive the young woman's lament. There's no doubt that Robert's talent came from lineage. He was John Johnson's son, who served as none other than lutenist to Queen Elizabeth I. Johnson became deeply involved in stage productions and composed instrumental music for mosques. He not only associated himself with famous Elizabethan playwrights such as William Shakespeare, but he also collaborated with Beaumont and Fletcher. What a talent! Number 3, Pastime with Good Company. This is a royal song. It was composed by none other than King Henry VIII after his coronation in the early 16th century. His original score dates back to 1513 and is part of the Henry VIII Songbook, a manuscript that includes 14 pieces written by him that are currently preserved at the British Library. The king is believed to have composed Pastime with Good Company to dedicate it to Catherine of Aragon, his first wife. But the young Henry VIII wasn't only satisfied with being talented in music, he also excelled in horse riding, archery, wrestling, and even royal tennis. So the lyrics are a true reflection of these sources of entertainment and the carelessness that prevailed at the royal court. This is one of the most famous compositions of King Henry VIII, and, thanks to its simple and catchy melody, it became a popular song at festivals, taverns, events in England, and other European countries during the Renaissance. Number 2, Summer Is A-Comin' In. This song was written in Middle English and, at the same time, in Latin. It's quite bold and uncontroversial because it's the oldest record of the verb to fart. That's right, the expression "book or turth" apparently means the buck farts. Also, although it's believed to describe the arrival of summer, a singing cuckoo bird, and several excited farm animals, scholars aren't sure whether it's actually an obscene song about adultery, since the word cuckoldry, meaning the act of making someone's husband a cuckold, can trace its origin back to the cuckoo bird. Another sordid detail is that the owner of the manuscript where the song is included may have been William of Winchester, a monk who loved music and women, but due to his vocation, that was a problem. Indeed, he had allegedly slept with several women, including a nun. What a scandal! Anyway, this song was probably written in Oxford around 1260. It's amazing that it has survived to this day. Bonus: Robin Hood Ballads, the most iconic outlaw in English folk music. The first Robin Hood rhymes are known to have been composed in the 1370s. Then, narrative ballads telling his story date back to the second half of the 15th century. The oldest surviving ballad is Robin Hood and the Monk, which dates back to 1450 and also mentions Little John. However, it may have originally been recited rather than sung. The one that is crowned as the oldest song is... Number 1, Merry It Is While Summer It Lasts. This song, also in Middle English, meant a great historical discovery. It was found by accident in a book of Psalms at the Bodleian Library and is considered to be the oldest known English secular song. Although the author is unknown, it's estimated that it was written around 1225. Unfortunately, the text and melody are incomplete on a single page that is visibly affected by time. Although it hasn't been possible to totally restore the song, it's known to talk about the longing for summer next to the approaching cold, the long nights, and fasting. This is because, at that time, they didn't have either the technology or means to preserve high-protein food. Preserving salted meat or dried fish was limited for people with higher purchasing power. So, all that was left for many people was regretting. Are you already humming any old songs? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Here you have more content, just click.